Most of week 3 is in the books, and we still have 6 teams undefeated in the NFL. We had a lot of backup quarterbacks get play this past weekend. We had some running back injuries. Guys, we got to look at the top players going up right now in the hobby. Let's let that eBay sold data speak for itself and look at the top players going up and the biggest reactions coming out of week 3. Let's dig in. The Buffalo Bills are now 3-0. The Dolphins are 0-3. The Jets are 0-3. And the Patriots are 1-2. And going back to Thursday night, Josh Allen made light work of the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football. Absolutely shredded them. And we're going to look at James Cook here in a second as well. But look at some of the solds of Josh Allen. One of these that jumped off to me was this today. His base Donruss PSA 9 for $225 in a buy it now sold. That ultimately sold for $160. But if we pop over here to slabhawk.com, you can see his PSA 9 has been trending up since before the season. I mean, if you go back to the middle of the summer, that PSA 9 base Donruss was selling for under $100. $81 buy it now on July 17th. Now over double, or right at double, up to $160. Now, what about something a little nicer? What about this Optic Pink Parallel PSA 10? This sold in the buy it now best offer accepted for $975. It's been trending right around $1,000. Well, if you just scroll down a little bit on 130 point, you can see the beginning of the season that was $790. Back in the summer, that was $645, $630. So that card up a couple $100. If you just look at Josh Allen's overall market here on slabhawk.com, we're pulling in all his graded data and just looking at that trend over the past 6 months, you can see that a lot of them are up big time, anywhere from 10 to 20%. Now, his largest transaction from game day was this massive auction here from PC Sports Cards. Is a 2018 National Treasures white box rookie patch auto. Really cool card here. I'm not sure what's going on with the patch because, Allen doesn't have an R in it. That, to me, looks like an R. But maybe you guys can correct me in the comments. But really sick rookie patch auto here from National Treasures. You see it's got the Panini seal on it. $25,100 in auction on 73 bids. You also have this really interesting buy it now sold on the 20th, which is Saturday. It's a select die cut neon orange pulsar PSA 10, serial numbered 4 out of just 9. It was listed for $20,000, ultimately sold for $16,000. So just an absolutely monster buy it now transaction. But the biggest fantasy performance from that team on Thursday night was James Cook, taking 19 carries for 108 yards. That's 5.7 yards per carry, getting a touchdown, a 26-yard long run. He also had 3 receptions for 10 yards, and you can see his biggest transaction was an auction yesterday of a Phoenix 1-of-1 Nike swoosh patch with the rookie auto. He got the gold vinyl background there, closed for $803 in auction. It's pretty hard to find comps, obviously, as a 1-of-1, but I did find a Spectra 1-of-1 NFL Shield patch with the rookie auto back on July 31st that sold for $433.80 in auction. So you can see how much a 1-of-1 has gone up. I imagine this auction would have closed for at least $700 to $800 today. Look, back in June, you could have gotten a blue Optic Contenders rookie ticket auto for James Cook for $38 or $36 here, August 12th. But now even the one out of 99 closed an auction yesterday for $61.28. Or the showcase ticket here from Base Contenders that sold in a buy it now yesterday for $75. The base rookie ticket auto for James Cook sold in a buy it now last Thursday for $40 direct from ComC. And if you knew what you were doing before the season, you could have sniped that same card. This one's even better because it's from Optic Contenders in an auction August 10th for $13.50. There's that same exact card in an auction June 28th for $18.27. So another interesting card to look at in his graded market is this Gridiron Kings Black Pandora. Typically the Black Pandora is numbered out of 25 or so. You can see how that, numbered out of 25, and you can see how that card has been flipped back and forth with just a population of 2. These transactions were actually from November 2024, this time last year. The best thing I can find close to that on eBay now recent is his Optic Black Pandora, which is even nicer. Love the photo better. It's less cluttered. Rated rookie logo. Raw sold $80 just 10 days ago. I got to think that card would have gone up even more. Like, for example, look at this PSA 9. This is just 6 days ago, $150 on a PSA 9 Black Pandora Rookie Kings, which, once again, that card has a very low pop, and it only has a population of 4. So if you actually bought it earlier in his career, 2023, this is a year after the set's out, approximately $60 buy it now there, $75 auction November 12th, 2024, and then you have the $150 buy it now that sold just under a week ago. Hey, real quick, guys, if you're new here, welcome to the Football Card Quest. We're 100% dedicated to football cards, research, and selling tips. My name is Andy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy football card content, fantasy football, parlays. Guys, also, if you want access to that data intel tool we just checked out using to look at James Cook and Josh Allen's graded market, make sure you check out slabhawk.com and get access today. Now back to the action. Number 3 this week in the top 3 for the 3rd straight week here is got to be Daniel Jones, guys. Look at his buy it now solds yesterday here. From slabhawk.com, 278 compared to Kyler Murray's 34. He's still not getting the raw to grade submitted to PSA graded love, but yeah, he's got about the same amount of rookie cards, a little bit less than Kyler Murray. Let's see how they stack up. Daniel Jones now up to top 10, number 7 on our high index rankings. The Colts now 3-0, making short work of the Tennessee Titans here. Daniel Jones once again with a 113.4 quarterback rating. Just playing really good football. Also almost had a bomb to Alec Pierce that was ruled a drop or an incomplete pass, which really that should have been complete. I mean, it looked like he had it. We're also going to be talking about Jonathan Taylor here in a minute because he basically broke the slate. But right off the bat, let's look at this rookie ticket auto that sold today in a buy it now. The red towel Daniel Jones with the helmet and the logo, BGS 9.5, $250, which ultimately sold for $230, so not much of a discount. Now let's see what we can find. Just a week prior, $182, so we can see that has gone up $40 approximately over a week. Now in terms of PSA 9, we have a Saturday, September 6th auction for $72, but we know a BGS 9.5 is typically a little bit nicer of a card, so there's a 201 July 8th PSA 10, but this is the base. You notice it doesn't have the helmet there and a slightly different stance picture there. So fortunately, there's only 5 of those 9s and 10 of the PSA 10. So it's a really hard card to find here. We also had a buy it now sold today of his blue shimmer out of 10 PSA 9. Listed at $500. Whoa, ultimately sold for $250. I think this seller really took a steep discount. I'm not sure why. I guess he probably had a lot of profit in it already. You can see the PSA 10 sold just a day prior for $610. You also had an auction the day prior, a couple days prior here for $260 on 19 bids. So you can see there was a buy it now of $330 just this past Tuesday. So why that person would have taken just $250 is probably because maybe they got it for around this price point. You can see February 9th earlier this year. Somebody was able to get that card, looks like in a buy it now or Fanatics Collect deal here for $75. But let's keep looking. Maybe something that fits into more people's budget range is a bronze optic rated rookie PSA 10 that sold today in a buy it now for $65. The raw variations of that this past weekend selling for just $10 and $15. Here is the bronze. It only has a population of 31, so not a lot of transactions, guys. June, we had $40 buy it now and $42 auction. So once again, nice increase with the 65, but certainly I think that the sellers sold themselves short on this card. Because if we just look at the overall trend right now in Daniel Jones' market, I mean, we are talking up big time, anywhere from 30 to 100% percentage changes across the board. I mean, look at his red, white, and blue prism here, and just look at the chart on that. The latest Saturday, September 20th, and get that out. You can see there's even $100 buy it now on this past Friday. So someone that sold it for $45 just sold themselves way short, because this card right now, Daniel Jones 3-0 on the Colts, has tremendous potential. And I get it, because they probably got it somewhere in this range of like $20 to $30 back in the summer. As you can see, some of these crazy low auctions, or even $20 buy it now on that card. So tremendous profit to be able to flip it even for 50 to 60. But understand, you could potentially get 100, especially when you bring in Kyler Murray, which all things considered, he's not playing bad. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. had a really ugly drop yesterday in the game. And so I feel like the weapons are struggling right now with the Cardinals. The run game, James Conner's done for the season. Kyler Murray is, it's just sputtering a little bit, but I mean, they're 2-1. So to compare them to each other, you can see a lot of cases. Now, Daniel Jones is more than Kyler Murray. And there's the red, white, and blue, and you see Kyler Murray's got a trend of $85 and Daniel Jones $65. With the base prism neck and neck at $30, I wouldn't sell my red, white, and blue Daniel Jones PSA 10 for anything lower than $85. I mean, it's pretty easy, especially when you have you're using slabhawk.com and pulling in these comparable players to see where you should be at. For example, Silver Prism PSA 10, one of the most liquid, gold standard, if you will, quote-unquote, cards in the hobby. PSA 10 Daniel Jones, trend of 153, up 52% over the last few months. And Kyler Murray at an average of 200, trend of 175. So that tells you you don't sell your Daniel Jones for anything less than 175, 200. And right now you've got upside. If you can get one for 135, for example, not a bad deal. You know, you're paying a lot more than what the bottom was, sure. But understand there's still upside in that card, especially when you look at the strength of this Colts team, both defensive and offensively. And a lot of it is thanks to this man right now, the leading rusher in the NFL, Jonathan Taylor, 2020 rookie with 6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns, a 46-yard long scamper on Sunday. He's also got 3 receptions for 16 yards. I mean, just an absolute monster day. 36 fantasy points. If you had him on your roster in DFS, you were winning. And as is with the running back market, something like Mosaic, which is a mid-tier type set that's not serial numbered. PSA 10 is going to go around this range of $30. Let's look at something nicer, though. Immaculate. Jonathan Taylor out of 99. Rookie patch auto here. $115 in a buy it now today. Guys, pretty much the identical card with the same patch. If you go back to September 7th, so we're talking just a couple weeks ago, $46 auction. So over doubled in value, almost tripled. August 24th, $67 auction. That's kind of where I expect that card to sell in the low times for a guy like Jonathan Taylor. Here's a buy it now from July 4th. That was listed at $90, ultimately sold for $70. So still a nice profit, even if you bought it in a buy it now back in the summer. Couple monster transactions for Jonathan Taylor, including a rookie patch auto gold from Prism, PSA 9, $371. His base contenders rookie ticket auto sold in a buy it now Saturday for $350. Was listed at $350. Wow, ultimately sold for $185. So once again, seller are giving a big discount here. I'm not sure that they should have, but if we go back November last year, I mean, you could have got that card for $80. So if you're the buyer that got it for $80 last November, you're now making double what you bought it for, even at $185. I get the temptation there to sell. You had 188 auction on Friday, April 2023. That card was just 86 as well. So a quick glance at the base PSA 10 market for Jonathan Taylor, running back position. This is a kind of a market that tends to lag and struggle a little bit because the cards are a little common and he's a running back. And so it's not the same demand as a quarterback. These cards are still pretty cheap. So a lot of people are going after those rookie autos, serial number cards, and rookie patch autos. But even his Prism here is definitely trending up. You can see $19 buy it now September 14th. to a $28 buy it now September 15th, and then a $25 auction. And let's see. I mean, that card closed as low as $9 in an auction before the season started. From 2020, in the skill position category, we've got to start comparing Jonathan Taylor to Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb with the injury yesterday that we're going to have to monitor, which is going to be very interesting. Stay tuned for more information on that. We could also compare him to Michael Pittman Jr. on the Colts. And T. Higgins as well. So as you can see, the CeeDee Lamb base Prism PSA 10 at an average of $50. I think that's the upside we're looking at for Jonathan Taylor. I think to compare him to Justin Jefferson, still a little lofty, but to compare him to CeeDee Lamb, I think is very realistic, especially if CeeDee misses time here with an injury and Jonathan Taylor finishes as the RB1 overall this year. He's probably going to win a lot of people their fantasy leagues. I can definitely see him if he stays healthy, finishing as a top 5, top 3 running back. You have Optic Hollow PSA 10 still under 50. That's a big snipe, especially when those cards for CeeDee Lamb are trending at around $100. So don't sleep on this part of Jonathan Taylor's market. Next up, we've got 2020 rookie Jalen Hurts here for the Philadelphia Eagles with the monster comeback win here in the second half over the LA Rams. This was such an incredible game, guys. Jalen Hurts finishes with 3 passing touchdowns and 117.5 quarterback rating, 30 fantasy points because you add in his rushing touchdown and his 40 yards on the ground. He did lose a fumble, but overall they win the game. They're 3-0. A.J. Brown gets loose in this game. Devonta Smith gets loose in this game for a touchdown, and Dallas Goedert gets a touchdown. Look at this sold transaction today in a buy it now on the National Treasures Midnight out of 20, PSA 8, which is equivalent to a raw card here, especially something this scarce. Very beautiful rookie patch auto. Listed for $6,695, and it appears that it sold for $6,695. You can compare that to the Tua version, PSA 9, that sold for $3,500 on Saturday, September 20th, or the Justin Jefferson variation that sold back September 5th, right when the season started, for $5,000. Best offer accepted, though. I'd also love to look at something like this. It's a select neon green die cut. So great color matching here, but die cuts, they lose a little bit of popularity. And the field level select has also lost popularity since select went retail back in 2020. Now let's look at this PSA 10 that sold for listed at $130, best offer accepted. Let's pull Jalen Hurts in here and compare him to Justin Herbert. So right off the bat, I found the Herbert here. There's obviously not a great color match for the Chargers. It's kind of clashing, does not look good at all. You can see how that was ending in auction for $40 and $50 before the season, and a buy it now for $80 on the 6th. Ultimately, that Jalen Hurts sold for $111. And you see that went for $100 back in the summer. Very low pop on that card. Well, 201, not bad. 74% grade rate from raw to PSA 10. That's very high. You actually had a Tuesday, August 26th auction of $148. So don't sell yourself short on this card for anything lower than about $150. I mean, the Eagles are 3-0. Great squad all around. They really were forced to push the ball in the second half here, and they were able to get the job done. I mean, great second half performance. Really nice to see A.J. Brown come alive. Got a lot of man coverage against the Rams and did his thing. Obviously, green color match parallels have a tremendous amount of power for Jalen Hurts in the hobby. So, honestly, I would say if we look at the overall graded market between Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, so Justin Herbert's 3-0. Justin Herbert could easily be at this spot. He's obviously, they've overtaken Jordan Love. After Jordan Love's offense sputtered out. Now, I know they have a lot of injuries, but, at the same time, I mean, they don't have that many injuries, right, to warrant them sputtering out against the Cleveland Browns, who just got blown out by the Ravens the week before. And so this was a big upset by the Cleveland Browns, and now Jordan Love's Packers go 2-1. I still think he's obviously going to have a lot of hype for the rest of the season, but I think he lost a step compared to Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, who are just a step ahead now at 3-0. And you look at the Optic Hollow Justin Herbert, that's a 230, and Justin Herbert's passing the ball so much. He's throwing the ball a ton, playing really well. He did have an interception yesterday overall, but they won this game, and this offense is looking great for the Chargers here, especially against a great defense in the Denver Broncos. And you compare the Optic Hollow PSA 10 of Hurts at 170, really hasn't moved in the past 6 months. And he did win the Super Bowl, so that plays a big role. But 180 for Love and 232 for Herbert. Man. And then you look at Prism here. So base Prisms, they're all pretty much neck and neck, around $60. But red, white, and blue, we have a 150 for Hurts, 150 for Jordan Love, and 215 current trend for Justin Herbert, up 35%. So I think Herbert honestly should be taking this spot. Rewind the video. Let's do it over. Let's get it right, guys. 225. I mean, look at that. I mean, that red, white, and blue. Wow, what a banger. I mean, dude, $240 buy it now this past Thursday. And going back to summertime, he got auctioned for $124. It's almost double of what it was at. As Jim Harbaugh's on a mission to make Justin Herbert enter the Hall of Fame. Trying to multitask here, typing in 2020 Justin Herbert to see what his recents look like. People are buying some pretty low-hanging fruit here. Wow, base prestige selling for a few dollars. Yeah, I mean, people are just buying everything they can for Justin Herbert, it appears. Let's look at who. There's a lot of low stuff this morning. Let's go to our players tab. Let's type in 2020. And look, oh yeah, Justin Herbert dominating the eBay sold category yesterday with 322 compared to Jordan Love 162 and Jalen Hurts 142. It doesn't quite have the added PSA numbers that these other two guys had, because I think a lot of people were submitting Justin Herbert going back to 2020. So that tells you that supply is lower. Prices can spike easier on Herbert. So now you've got to start comparing Justin Herbert to what Joe Burrow's current market is, because Joe Burrow's market's going to come down. Herbert's market could continue to climb here. We had a few big-time transactions for Herbert yesterday. $5,000 buy it now in his rookie ticket auto PSA 1010, and it's sold on the nose at $5,000, $4,999.99 to be specific. Compare that to Jalen Hurts Optic even just 2 days ago that sold for $2,000. I mean, there's a big difference there between the top-end market of Herbert and Jalen Hurts. Here's a Panini 1. Man, what a beautiful rookie patch auto with part of that lightning bolt there. That was August 3rd, but let's keep looking for this past weekend. Stained glass, PSA 10, $4,300 in auction yesterday. Ended last night from DC Sports 87. Can't find a PSA 10 stained glass from 2020 for Jalen Hurts. Can't find one for Jordan Love. Got one for Joe Burrow back before the season in the summer between $6,000 excuse me, and $6,600. So yeah, I mean, Herbert's got room to go up on that card, guys. I mean, look at his PSA 10 rookie ticket auto, $3,301. That's an auction yesterday. So same consigner, same place. Well, for the stained glass, but if you look at the buy it now sold, the Justin Herbert rookie ticket auto 1010 went for $5,000. The Joe Burrow sold for $3,300. Big difference in that market. Rookie ticket auto, such a coveted chase item for 2020 quarterbacks. Now, next up on this Charger squad, you had a breakout game from rookie Omarion Hampton here. He got 6 receptions for 59 yards, including a long of 22. But on the ground, maybe only 3.7 yards per carry, but he got the lion's share of the carries with 19. He put up a touchdown. He had a long of 11 yards. Really solid breakout game for him, guys. I mean, 25 fantasy points is a big deal here. Not a whole lot of pro uniform stuff. And, I mean, look at this buy it now sold today on an Origins patch auto. It was listed at 55, and somebody took a best offer accepted. Really at 51 is what I'm seeing. So, I mean, you can see Sunday, I mean, that card's selling at $60. $43 auction is interesting there. Or no, buy it now sold. So it's kind of bouncing around. You even had a high of 72. But, guys, you got to compare him to Ashton Genty. For that same card is closing at $100 in auctions, almost twice as much, but Omarion Hampton is playing better and on a 3-0 team. So I'm looking at this as the upside for Omarion Hampton. Ashton Genty getting off to a very slow start to his career. And right now, yeah, although he did have a better day yesterday with a couple good-looking highlights, I mean, look at some of the prices on this same card, 100 to 170. What about another player that was drafted high on a losing team, really struggling here, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Hunter, not getting much opportunity, to be honest with you guys. And that card for him also selling for 150 to 200. Right now, because of how few pro uniform cards these guys have, I mean, that Omarion Hampton is wild to me that it's still selling for that price. So I definitely feel that leaves an opportunity in the market. I mean, even the patch cards for Mika Ibuka without the auto, so he doesn't have a lot of those autos in the Panini sets yet, selling for close to 100. So unreal opportunity for Omarion Hampton. I would say at this point we also pull in Quinton Judkins, who had a breakout game yesterday, got him a touchdown, close to 100 yards. Let's see what that card is doing for him. He's also got a suspension potentially looming over his head. So, yeah, we do see a September 20th buy now on that card of 40. Probably gone up a little bit since then, so I expect the next one to probably sell the same as Omarion. But, look, Omarion's better than Judkins. He also doesn't have the character concerns, as of now, knock on wood, that Judkins has. So let's hope he keeps his head down and continues to play like this with the Chargers. Are you kidding me, guys? There's a serious $100 plus upside for Omarion Hampton. Now, the next 3-0 quarterback I want to look at is Baker Mayfield. Let's look at what's ended recently for him. Oklahoma Sooners Classics rookie card sold today for $12, and he's a 2018 guy. So, I mean, it's hard to compare him to Lamar, Josh Allen. Obviously, Josh Allen, you're now comparing to Patrick Mahomes. But I do think we could probably do a pretty good comparison between Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, and Baker. And then you could kind of look at Lamar Jackson and say, well, if Baker continues to play the way he does with the injuries, when they get back, Tristan Wirfs, Mike Evans now, hopefully doesn't miss much time with the hamstring, but then you get Chris Godwin back, and Amika continues to develop. I mean, the Bucs are 3-0. They're probably going to take down the NFC South once again. I mean, it's another playoff team. So I would be interested to see. I mean, you can see he's got 100 eBay sold yesterday. That's more than Lamar. Lamar plays tonight. Josh Allen with 109 is really impressive, especially when you compare his prices. And then you put kind of Baker next to Darnold, where Darnold only had 26, and their prices are probably very similar. You can see the percentage changes in the sales in Baker are just way higher than Darnold. So if we look at the base Donruss up to 60, the base Optic, a trend of 85, 38% increase. That's why Baker's here in the top 10. I mean, he has been playing really well, 3-0, with the injuries that they've had to the offensive line. I mean, his largest transaction in the past 90 days occurred today, guys, with a gold Prism PSA 10. That rookie card logo, gold. Oh, my goodness. Sold for $10,000 on the nose. Oh, man, what a sick card. It's really hard to find a comparison for that card. I mean, the Dalton Schultz, $62 August 3rd. The Josh Rosen, July 1st, 86. You did have this one up here that I thought was interesting. Sam Darnold, stained glass gold Mojo, PSA 10, 1,325. That was August 23rd, though, before the season. I mean, just such a hard card to find comparisons for. Yeah, his blue shimmer prism, though, sold 2 days ago. It was listed at $3,000. This was a PSA 10. His 2018 Panini Encased NFL Shield BGS 8.5. Really cool card here with the little Heisman signature. That's a 1 of 2,500. Okay, here we go. Donruss Optic Downtown PSA 10. Buy it now, sold. Best offer accepted at $2,000. Ooh, ultimately sold for $1,625. But just 4 days prior, sold for $1,400. And before the season, we've got a sale for $1,131. Looks like back in the summer, the lowest sale I can find is $950. Yeah, compare that to Sam Darnold, whose current trend at $635. Lamar Jackson's trend at about $4,300. And Josh Allen's trend to close to $5,000. So there gives you the spectrum for that optic downtown PSA 10. I got to think Baker could continue to go up here a little bit. Obviously, he's gone up the most just based on where his prices were to where they are now. He's gone up the most out of these 2018 quarterbacks. The next quarterback I believe going up right now that I want to look at is Carson Wentz, the old veteran here, guys, who gets to start for the Vikings, and they win in blowout fashion here over the Bengals, in which I told you guys to sell your Jake Brownings and don't get greedy. Jake Browning throws 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, quarterback rating of 63.8. The Vikings defense break the slate. Carson Wentz, 129.8 quarterback rating with 2 touchdowns, 173 yards. I mean, honestly, he ran this offense better than what we've seen J.J. McCarthy do this far this year. T.J. Hawkinson having his best game of the year. Justin Jefferson, arguably his best game of the year, on not a huge stat line. And Jordan Mason absolutely going off. We'll look at him in a minute. Carson Wentz, colossal National Treasures, rookie patch auto, Nike logo. What is this, a PSA 9 serial numbered out of 2? Somebody bought over the weekend, had to have it, had the cap patch from his college days, North Dakota State University there. That's a goofy picture. September 5th, last week, when they knew he was going to start, somebody dropped it, several $100s. Ooh. We've got a gold prism. Now something we can sink our teeth into. Let's look at this card. This was sold last week when the people got the news he was going to start. It was sold for $600. You can see how his base prism went up. It had a high of $50 during the week last week. Let's look at the data from over the weekend. Filtered down to Panini Prism. Let's find that gold. Here we've got the gold. Wow, geez, only a pop of 1? Good Lord. Okay, a 4 pop on the PSA 9s, pop of 8, or 2 on the PSA 8s, but we actually have some sales here. There's only 10 of these, guys. So, Monday, you had the $500 buy now. That's a PSA 9. Wow, so PSA 8, let's go March 16th. How much can this card go up? $300 auction. That's probably your best bet. May of 2024, 416. March, you can see how the grade doesn't matter nearly as much when you have a gold prism. 8s and 9s, pretty comparable here. $300 auction, March 16th, though. That's what I want to focus on there. Now you have a PSA 9 for $600. I mean, honestly, that PSA 9 could have done more. Yeah, there's the 8 for $500, the 9 for $600. These all bought last week, so obviously your window to sell Carson Wentz opened. And he's going to start again next week and against the Commanders. I think that's a game they could also win. So, yeah, Carson Wentz definitely going up, as you can see. There you go. His latest buy it now sold on the Prism PSA 10. It was listed at 60. Well, now we got to go 130 point and see what it actually sold for. Ultimately sold for 40, but you also had a $50 sale. So 50 is what I'm seeing as the best for a silver prism, and the lowest, if you're a backup quarterback stasher, Carson Wentz truther, the lowest you could have stashed him for is going back to May. Yeah, $9-10. So if you bought it for $9-10, you're selling for 50. You're absolutely licking your chops on that kind of increase, which is phenomenal. All right, so last but obviously not least is going to be Jordan Mason here. His largest sales right off the bat here is today. One of the largest sales in the past 90 days for him today. It's a limited out of 99 PSA 9 that sold for $225 in a buy it now. Trying to see if I can get a read on that card from earlier, but I mean, it's just, he doesn't have many cards. You can see that raw limited version, but it's serial numbered out of 25, sold for just like $20-25 back in the summer. Same thing with his rookie ticket autos. As we're going to look at, like his rookie ticket autos were selling for just $20-25. PSA 10, maybe a lot more. I mean, look at this, July 10th was the best offer accepted there, but also here, July 16th, the best offer accepted, down from 100. And really, Jordan Mason's only got these 2 cards. So let's look and see, $30 yesterday compared to $50 yesterday for the rookie ticket auto. How low did they get back in the summer? Even September 16th, $18. I know there was a ComC $44 one. that we showcased on Friday night with our Hidden Gems week 3. He was a clear and obvious play this week. Beginning of the season, $30, 25, 29. So it looks like he went from about 25 to 29 to about 50 now. Yeah, let's look at some of his recents from today. Man, a lot of buy now activity. Yeah, you can see they're selling for $45, $50 like hotcakes. 50, 60, 40. Yeah. And I expect these to continue to climb. Very limited supply here, guys. 7.2 yards per carry. Gets these positive game scripts like this with the Vikings. Put up 2 touchdowns. I mean, for the cost he was in daily fantasy, it didn't matter that everybody else was on him. You kind of need to have him on your roster. So, yeah, just a smash day for Jordan Mason. Limited supply. You can see that $44 one sold. It was actually like $38 with your ComC login. Sold. I mean, that's gone. Somebody's making profit on that card. Good job. Shout out to whoever that was. All right, now we're not quite done yet. I've got a few more risers, honorable mentions that could have been in the top 10. Obviously, guys, I love it when you comment. Let me know who I missed, who you felt should be in the top 10. There's a lot of legwork and time involved, so please make sure you like, share, and comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. But I didn't look at Trey Tucker's card market. We're going to have to look at some of these card markets with Carter on Wednesday. We go live, or maybe they'll be in week 4's Hidden Gems, or maybe one of these guys will be our sleeper target of the week in my premium articles I publish every Friday morning, where I do a deep dive on a single player and write an article, especially showcasing the cards I would target, the price points I would target them at. But a couple other notes here. Trey Benson with the Cardinals with the James Conner injury. His stock is up. Cam Scadabo's stock is up. He's a 2025 rookie, already expensive. Could definitely go up some more now with the new role. Ricky Pearsall didn't look at, but I definitely think that his stock is up. He's leading the NFL right now in contested catches. George Pickens, if CeeDee Lamb misses extended time, got to monitor the CeeDee Lamb injury status. Kenneth Walker, great running back right now. The Seahawks actually are a legit team. Sam Darnold's playing pretty good. JSN, a legit wide receiver 1 for his team, having a really good season. Luther Burden had a breakout game for the Chicago Bears. Very interesting player to watch. And although the Broncos lost, I do see a lot of upside in this Broncos team. Bo Nix has actually looked pretty good to me. J.K. Dobbins looks really good at the running back there. So, and then Marcus Mariota. Commanders get a win, throws a touchdown, rushes in for another one to contribute in the win. I imagine his market's doing similar to what Carson Wentz's market is doing. I'm not sure if Mariota is going to get another shot to start this upcoming weekend, though, like Wentz is. So that's the big difference there. And then we didn't look at A.J. Brown's market, but he had the big breakout game yesterday. And then Trey Tucker's market, I mean, he had a monster fantasy day, 3 touchdowns. The Raiders are still a losing team, but monster fantasy performance. I was interested to see how that impacted his market as a breakout wide receiver performance. And then the Calvin Austin market with the Steelers win. Steelers are a solid team. And I think there's some takeaways there for the defense of the Steelers we're definitely going to be talking about with Carter. So, guys, make sure you tune in Wednesday. I'll see you guys there. Hope you enjoy this video. Peace.